Peace. This is Rahil. And this guy I'm showing you right here was Michael Jackson. This is when he was doing his announcement for his O2 shows that he was going to do right before he passed away. That he was preparing for before he died mysteriously. And it was mysterious. This guy, though, right here was a clone. This was not the real Michael Jackson. This was not the real Michael Jackson. When he went up to the podium, I said, man, that is not Michael Jackson. The way he was walking, everything. I said, I knew this wasn't Michael Jackson. This was a stand-in for Michael Jackson. I don't know where the real Michael Jackson was at that time, but this was not the real Michael Jackson. This right here, this was a clone, man. This was a clone. This was not Michael Jackson at all, man. I mean, you could tell, man. You could look at it, man. His hair, his posture when he was up on his, the podium, and it was a real quick announcement, and then he just walked away, man. I mean, they made this big and grand entrance for him to come through and speak, and then he walked away. The real Michael Jackson might have been somewhere sick or just not up to go up there today, you know. But this guy is either a stand-in or this guy was the clone of Michael Jackson. This is the most public cloning of Michael Jackson or stand-in of Michael Jackson that you would have ever seen. This guy right here. I mean, I could show you some pictures. This is a book that somebody gave me, I think for Christmas one year. There's a bunch of pictures of Michael Jackson because I was a huge Michael Jackson fan. But now things have kind of changed over the years as I've gotten older and kind of looking at them and understanding things about them. Let me show you something else here. Hold on one moment. I'm going to make some comparisons here. So that was a clone. This right here was the real Michael Jackson. The latest Michael Jackson. Looks nothing like the guy that was on the podium. See this Michael Jackson? That was Michael Jackson. Small taped on nose. I mean small taped on nose. Like he had a small taped on nose. This guy right here had a pretty solid nose. It wasn't taped on. It wasn't taped on at all. Now look at his nose. You see how big and full his nose is? Unless he had a different type of nose on. That was a stand-in or a clone right there, man. See that? Now let's go back to this one. Different guy. He has like a slight mustache, 5 o'clock shadow. Michael Jackson always had a little mustache and a little stubble. Man, that's the real Michael Jackson. This right here, unshaven Michael Jackson. That's Michael Jackson. That's him behind the camera. He's directing kind of a little bit with the show. Him and that guy right there is the producer and director of his last show before he passed away. Let me show you see some more. This right here, this was Michael Jackson before he mysteriously died. I don't understand how you could give somebody CPR on a bed. Any doctor, any medical person, any nurse would know that you have to give CPR on a hard surface. But they gave him CPR on the bed, which broke his ribs, according to the autopsy. That's Michael Jackson. See how sunken his face is in? And, you know, you can see all of that. You see his face kind of sunken in a little bit. That's Michael Jackson. This guy, I don't know who that is. That's not Michael Jackson. That's a clone or a stand-in. A clone or a stand-in. Let me fast forward here. Now this right here, they're at the funeral, right? That's his mom. See his alleged kids surrounding him. That's Barry Gordy. His mom's sitting there crying. And I'm sure she's crying because she might not have really known where her son was. He probably just disappeared, and he's not dead. I don't believe he's dead. I just believe he decided to evade his enemies because Sony was after him for that catalog, man. I mean, this dude owned the music industry with that catalog. And he said things that kind of alluded to them going after him for it. So what would you do? Would you stick around and wait for somebody to try to kill you? Or would you hide? And maybe take on another identity. I mean, shoot, he did everything he wanted to do in life. What else he had to live for, you know? So he could just create a whole new identity, and he loved to wear costumes anyway. He loved to hide and be very evasive. So, you know, all of this, the funeral, Mike, his kids, and who knows, his kids probably really thought, you know, his alleged kids, because I don't believe these was his real children, but that's all alleged. They really thought he left. I really believe they thought he left because they probably didn't let them in on it. You see here, his brother Jermaine, one of the guys who was pulling this thing right here away, which there was no body in that. I don't believe there was a body in there at all. If it was a body, it was somebody else's body, but it was not his body in there. There was no body in that casket. Jermaine, just so you know, Jermaine spent a lot of time over in the Middle East. He married a Middle Eastern woman. Michael Jackson used to go over there quite a bit with his brother and go talk to a lot of different kings and princes and sheiks over there. And so you'd be surprised, man. The Jacksons was very connected into the Middle East. Hence, later on, as we know, Janet Jackson, went over to the Middle East. And who did she marry? She married some billionaire in the Middle East. And years later, ended up got pregnant by him, allegedly, and had a baby by him, and then divorced him. So there's a lot of ties with the Jacksons in the Middle East. So who knows? Michael Jackson could be over there right now in the Middle East. I think it was Bahrain or something like that, where Jermaine spent a lot of his time, and Michael Jackson as well. So this right here, I think this was all a show, man. His escape route, trying to get away from Sony. This right here was the real Michael Jackson. You see the pimples, the acne face, and this is what he was running away from, looking like this. See his nose, nothing wrong with his nose. He didn't have to chop his nose. You know, this is what he was running away from. But as far as his image, his looks. But that's my video. Tell me what you think. Do you think Michael Jackson was cloned? Do you think that he had a stand-in to get away? Just like a lot of major leaders and stuff do. They have stand-ins to get away from things. Let me know what you think. Peace.